Good morning, it's 9 o'clock. Time for Daybreak Plus on WGRZ Plus. Well, news since daybreak, Governor Kathy Hochul is now ordering flags on state buildings to be flown at half-staff from sunrise to sunset today to honor the life and legacy of former Western New York Congressman John LaFalce. Over the weekend, we reported that he passed away. From 1975 to 2003, he served 3 different districts in the U.S. House of Representatives. He also worked with former President Jimmy Carter to get federal aid to help clean up the environmental disaster at Love Canal. Switching now to your forecast, we've got a look at your current temperatures. 45 degrees in East Aurora, 46 in Buffalo. Look at that along the lakeshore. Angola, 50. Dunkirk, 51. Things are starting to escalate already, Dan.
Oh, yeah, Pete, and it's all thanks to that round of rain that we actually saw earlier this morning. That was a warm front leading edge to this milder air. That front continues to exit western New York, so we continue to dry things up. And overall, outside of maybe another shower trying to sneak in here across the southern tier to finish up the day, again, most of today will be rain-free. Again, that warm front will continue to lift to our north and east. Unseasonably warm air will continue to surge in. We're talking temperatures in the 60s today. However, I mentioned that chance for a shower as we finish. That'll be provided by a cold front. In the wake of that, we do have one more round of some fairly chilly weather here, and yes, some more snowflakes flying around as we go through the middle of this week. So let's track it all here with Future Look. And again, today that warm front will continue to lift to our north and east. This afternoon we'll have some breaks of sunshine. Look where temperatures end up. Not too bad. 64 in Buffalo at 3:30. 64 in Batavia, East Aurora, even Jamestown climbing into the 60s this afternoon. I mentioned the chance there might be 1 or 2 isolated showers as we do finish up the day. Well, here we are at 8 p.m. and you can see some limited activity showing up here on the radar. The best chance for a shower, thunder showers, we do finish up today. Again, we'll be towards the New York State-Pennsylvania line. I think for Buffalo, Niagara Falls, we're going to be mainly dry as that cold front does swing on in, but we will feel the impacts of that front as chillier air does win out tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, nothing terribly chilly, but it will be a breezy start today. We'll have some sunshine early. What's going to happen tomorrow is that colder air will continue to deepen, and in doing so, even though we start out in the 40s, temperatures will finish today falling into and through the 30s, and we'll have some scattered rain, elevation, wet snow showers into the second half of the day. It will be blustery. And yeah, as we head to tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning, especially if you're watching across some of the higher elevations, I do expect a slushy coating to maybe even an inch or two, especially grassy and elevated surfaces. And again, that's going to be across the higher elevation. So as you're waking up Wednesday morning, heading off to work, it's going to be a little bit of a wintry start today. Just be mentally prepared for that. Now, this is probably going to be the last of this kind of weather we're potentially going to see for a long time. Even on Wednesday, any precipitation will taper off into the afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, upper 30s, low 40s. So even where we do see some accumulation as you're waking up Wednesday morning, it's going to quickly melt as we go through the day on Wednesday. And then as we get into your Thursday, we'll have some clearing. We'll see some sunshine make a return with temperatures still on the cool side there, but beginning to climb. And that climb will continue as we do finish up the week. So again, for today, breaks of sunshine. We did have some of those passing showers early. Those have, for the most part, since exited. Now we'll just have that chance for an isolated shower to finish up the day. Temperatures will end up in the 60s. And then for tonight, outside of a spotty sprinkle, just mostly cloudy, and that breeze does pick up into the morning. Temperatures down into the low to mid 40s. You step out tomorrow, and we start out in the 40s tomorrow, but again, we finish falling into and through the 30s. By then, we'll have a few scattered rain, elevation, wet snow showers with just windy, chilly, raw conditions. And as we take a look at your 7-day forecast, again, Wednesday is going to be another cold one. We're going to have some areas, once again, that struggle to climb out of the 30s. I think for Buffalo, we'll end up near, if not into the low 40s. After that, though, Thursday, we'll get back to sunshine. Highs here in the upper 40s. We're back in the 60s. But we do finish up the day on Friday with some rain showers. Those showers try to exit early on Saturday, so I think most of the upcoming weekend's looking pretty good. I think especially the second half of Saturday with temperatures 50s to near 60. And then for your Easter Sunday, we're looking pretty good. We'll have temperatures in the 50s, looking at some sunshine. We might be tracking some showers as we get towards the beginning of next week, especially here on Dingus Day, Pete. But the overall story next week, while we might have some occasional rain, the story next week is the fact that it's not going to even feel like April. It's going to feel a little bit more like May and even at times June, kind of getting into some bonus summer weather, I think, as we head to next week.
Well, this week it'll feel a little like early March at times. And Wednesday morning, I can see us calling up the Holiday Valley camera to see if the slopes have any accumulation.
You're going to see a little bit of that slush, more than likely. That's one of those great spots where, there's going to be some accumulating snow. So just be prepared for that. No surprises, because it is going to happen.
All right, changing the season. Get this. We are exactly 10 days away from the NFL draft. Bills have 10 total picks as things stand right now. Their first pick is number 30 in the first round. If they hold steady, it appears many NFL experts expect them to choose a defensive player. ESPN's Mel Kiper is projecting cornerback Maxwell Hairston of Kentucky to Buffalo at number 30. Meanwhile, Field Yates thinks defensive tackle Kenneth Grant of Michigan is going to be the pick, and the Ringer likes defensive tackle Derek Harmon of Oregon. Our Bills insider Vic Carucci spoke on the Bills draft needs over the weekend.
I think cornerback definitely is a priority for this team, and it's possible they could draft the starter opposite Christian Benford. You could put that guy out there if he is, of course, the right guy. This team has missed at that position. We know about Kaiir Elam, but this is considered a draft that's pretty deep at the corner position, which is important given how late the Bills draft in the first round. I don't know that they necessarily do it with their first pick, but somewhere, I would say, within the first 2 days of this draft, I think they need to get a corner.
All right. Yeah, and we talked earlier this morning that the line is where you think that they should go after.
Yeah, Kenneth Grant, you saw there, Field Yates. That's my dream pick. He's big, he's huge.
He's fast.
He's an athlete, exactly. And he would be that perfect kind of complement to Ed Oliver.
Yeah, is he more of a linebacker-esque defensive lineman, or is he a true old-school defensive lineman?
He's a true old-school defensive lineman. He's 6'5", 330 pounds. He's a one technique. He's that big body that we need. Daquan Jones in essence position, but he's getting up there in age. So, again, we need that one technique, if you will, to pair alongside Ed Oliver and the three technique, that pass-rushing DT.
Yeah, we could use that, for sure. We need a big wingspan attached to a big guy. All right, well, it's not often that we hear Dr. Phil talk about football, but Josh Allen has gotten his attention. The popular TV host is calling Allen the, quote, poster child for meritocracy. What's he talking about? Well, he took notice of Allen's path to the NFL, overlooked in high school before grinding it out in junior college, eventually landing at the University of Wyoming, and then ultimately becoming our MVP quarterback.
He gets this massive contract, and somebody asked him why he hadn't demanded more, because he was so high up, just a little bit more, and he would have eclipsed Mahomes with the Kansas City Chiefs and become the highest paid quarterback in history. And you know what he said? He said, quote, I don't need any more. If I can't live on what they're paying me, something is very wrong. Now, isn't that just music to your ears? Josh Allen believed in himself. He went to a small high school and nobody noticed him. Did he give up? Not a chance. He said, you know what? I've got what it takes, and I'm going to believe in me. I'm going to bet on me. I'm going to put together these letters. I'm going to put together these tapes, and I'm going to promote me. I'm going to reach out and go after my dream. I'm going to go after what I want.
Worked out pretty well, didn't it? Yeah, it's a great lesson, you know.
Yes. Oh, and I love how, we've known how great Josh is for a while now, right? And I just love how the national kind of media continues to kind of get the true Josh Allen experience here.
Yeah, and he's missing the other half of that salary equation. He's, if I can't live on what they're paying me, there's something wrong. But also, if he takes less, they've got more to spread around and in cap management. And he and Brandon Beane have been partners in that game for many years now.
I love that quote when he was talking about his agent and they were doing some of the negotiating in this contract, and he pretty much told his agent, fair number, but at the same time, I do not want a number that's going to hurt the Bills in any shape or form. It goes to show you who he is.
Yeah, and also goes to show you that he's living in an NFL city that's got about the best cost of living. You know,
that too.
Exactly.
That
So
too.
I mean, his dollars here are going to go much further
Yeah.
than they would in LA or New York. So,
Sure.
all right. Well, we are learning more. Speaking about big bucks and the Bills, we're learning more about the new Bills Stadium. Development leaders say it's going to have its own unique identity. They tell us that the stadium is going to give a nod to Buffalo's historic architecture at City Hall, Klein Hands, the Odd. As for what's around the stadium, the development team noted that any concrete plans about what could be developed don't exist just yet. But they do have a plan for Bills Mafia inside the stadium.
We are probably one of the few stadiums that kind of went against what the NFL and what the design team was kind of pushing us to do. We said, no, we don't want to set this stadium up for other events. We are set up for other events, but football first, right? So we didn't want to push we didn't want to push the walls of the field away, so that would push the fans away. We wanted to keep everything intimate.
Yeah, and they add their focus right now is solely on making sure that stadium is open for football in 2026. But, you know, it's funny because when the Bills played over in London, all the comparisons with Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah.
You know, how close the upper deck was to the corner flags for football, for soccer. But it's the same type of feel. But what did that remind you of when you looked at the renderings of the new stadium? You may not have been in Buffalo long enough, but it reminds me of the Odd.
Well, how steep?
Yeah, I mean the seats go straight up from the, and I'm excited because it's going to put you right on top of things. That kind of semi roof is going to just have it. It's going to be an echo chamber.
That's what I'm waiting to hear, is how loud this place is going to be, even with a less amount of fans in attendance. I have a feeling that roof is just going to echo it, and it's going to be louder than the Ralph ever was. So I'm excited to see that.
And you look at the renderings, and everyone's, should we have a dome? Should we not? That's going to have the feel of an indoor stadium.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kind of like Dallas when the roof is rolled back.
Wind. I bet the biggest thing we're going to notice is not as much wind.
Yeah.
Because I mean the stadium right now is very much open air. That's really going to close it all off. And to get that kind of wind, you get a little bit of swirling going on, but you're not going to truly get that, say, west to east, ripping wind with that kind of a stadium.
Wide open and below grade. So that,
Exactly.
It's going to be a kicker's dream, I'm sure. All right, speaking of kicking and sports, coming off the major announcement of the new stadium last Friday, this week the Buffalo Pro Soccer Group is looking to keep that momentum going. Thursday night, they're hosting a community town hall to answer your questions and lay out what the next steps are. The group is moving forward with the plans to build a new 7,600-seat stadium right along the Buffalo River in the Valley neighborhood. If you're familiar with the Powerhouse, it's going to be right over there. The stadium will feature family-friendly ticket prices, a standing fan section, 12 elevated suites, club-level seats, and is set to open next spring. So the timeline is upon us. This Thursday's town hall is going to be at the Banshee, right behind the station here on Franklin Street from 5:30 until 7:30.
The other thing that's going on in that area, that golf. That driving range is going to be right there as well.
Right.
So that area of the valley, man, it's going to be really hopping here in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're going to take over a portion of the old Madai complex.
Yes.
That's where they built that big Madai sports athletic complex, and then Madai shut down a year later.
From what I understand, that's pretty much going to be it. That's the footprint of where the stadium is going to be, is the Madai complex.
Perfect. It's a great location.
It is.
Well, a roller coaster ride ends in a grand slam for golf legend Rory McIlroy. We were both watching this yesterday. Take a look at this picture.
That face.
Yeah. Oh man, the 35-year-old Ireland native had a bogey on the 18th hole in the final round. That's the face he made after it. That's the face every fan made, because it was about a 4-foot putt that just went wide right. Those fans can relate to that, right? This led to a playoff between McIlroy and Justin Rose, and McIlroy got himself together, bounced back, didn't miss again. He wound up winning the Masters and getting the green jacket on his 11th attempt over the course of his career. And by the way, only 5 other golfers have achieved the career Grand Slam. But for him to be able to pull things together after that type of emotional roller coaster, because Rose came out of nowhere on the last day.
really did.
DeChambeau was right there with McIlroy at the end of Saturday.
Yep.
Going in, they thought, okay, that's going to be the playoff. Nope.
It kind of came down to who wants it.
Right.
Because there was a lot of mistakes there
Yeah.
down the final stretch, whether it was McIlroy with the double bogey, I believe, on number 13. But then he came back and hit an epic shot on 15 where
Yeah.
he should have had an easy eagle. He missed that putt, ended up with only a birdie. But so there was a lot of ebbs and flows there over the last few holes where there was some amazing shots, but then there was also some epic fails as well.
Oh, absolutely. It seemed like in that playoff hole, you're just watching it. Okay, it's not who's going to take this. It's, okay, who's going to screw this up?
Exactly.
And that's the way it worked out.
I was even talking about with my wife, because the Masters is known.
Yeah.
Almost more so for the failures and those setbacks
Yeah.
than those going out and winning it. And I remember one of my early kind of times watching the Masters was Greg Norman.
Oh,
one of the most epic
Yep.
collapses in golf history. I believe he was up like 6 strokes with only like 9 holes to play. And yeah, I was actually remembering and bringing up that story with my wife as we were watching yesterday. Hopefully it wasn't going to be a Greg Norman-esque type of collapse.
Yeah, but what a great finish. I mean, it was, that's the way you like to see things.
And so happy for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And that raw emotion, that true raw emotion was just awesome to see.
That's why we watch sports, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break right now. All right, well, we may be getting ready for a nice day today, but we're also tracking extreme weather elsewhere. Springtime winter blast in the Northeast. Meanwhile, temperatures are heating up out west. Here's NBC's Priscilla Thompson with more.
April showers looking more like snow and icy rain across the Northeast.
I'm getting snowed on. It's wild. It's crazy out here, man.
Look at this. A semi-truck jackknifed in Auburn, Massachusetts, where police say they've responded to multiple crashes after parts of the state were hit with up to 9 inches of snow. And listen to this. What sounds like thunder snow nearby. Temperatures in the region 10 to 20 degrees below average. And in the west, the opposite extreme. Temperatures up to 30 degrees above average.
This is how you survive the heat at Coachella. Power tools.
Near record-breaking heat for festival goers in California.
This is like absolutely dangerous hot.
Winds up to 40 miles per hour, fueling red flag warnings with 23 million under fire alerts from Denver to Tucson, even Miami. The South also in Mother Nature's bullseye. Golf ball size hail pelting Gainesville. In a spring season of wild weather, leaving many desperate for those May flowers.
I'm begging for summer, man. I'm begging for it.
Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
All of a sudden, the weekend looked great, huh?
Yeah, especially when, you saw 9 inches of snow across portions of Massachusetts. Well, we're going to see a few more snowflakes here in western New York as we go into the middle of the week. But I do want to mention this, just so you're ready for it. We are in store for a huge pattern shift. All the heat that's been bottled up out west here over the past several weeks, it's going to be moving east. And as we head into next week, we're not talking typical April weather, maybe even at times not even May weather. We're going to see some June, possibly even some July weather try to make a comeback here as we do finish up the month of April. Now, as we take a look outside this morning, we did have a round of some showers. Those showers have since cleared, so we're drying things up. We even have some breaks of sunshine as we head into this afternoon. Temperatures are going to end up in the 60s. Now, as we do finish up the day, we will bring back the chance for a passing shower. That's going to be primarily, though, towards areas of the southern tier. And that's thanks to, yes, another cold front, another push of some chillier weather. But this is the last true chilly shot that we're going to see, I think, potentially for the rest of the season. Yeah, we'll see some cool downs, but we're talking temperatures only in the 30s. This is the last of that kind of weather I think we're going to see for the season. But nonetheless, we do have to get through it, and there will be some rain, but also some elevation wet snow showers and even a little bit of accumulation, especially as you're waking up Wednesday morning. Now, once this chilly air does retreat, Again, we are looking at quite the warm pattern here as we do head towards the weekend, but especially next week. As far as rain chances this week, tomorrow we'll see some rain, some elevation wet snow showers. Those chances dry up Wednesday into Thursday. We'll see some more rain late Friday night. The good news is that does try to clear in time for the weekend, so trying to time out some rain chances, but looks as though the steadier rain that we'll see late this week will arrive as we head into your Friday night. But the big story this week is this right here. The bookends were in the 60s, but in the middle here, Pete, we are talking temperatures only in the 40s, a good 10 to 15 degrees below average. But again, once we get past, say, Thursday, that's when temperatures will climb. We're in the 60s on Friday, 50s probably for the weekend, but I think we're at least looking at some 60s, if not some 70s at times as we head into next week. Yeah, 70s. We're only supposed to be in the 50s. So,
well, good timing, Easter weekend, just in time. All right, another Sabres season is drawing to a close. Last night, the Blue and Gold lost their final road game of the season. The Sabres only won 13 of 41 games on the road this year. And last night, it was the second period that just shot them down in Tampa. Can't show you the highlights because of digital rules, but goals from Yuri Kulik and Connor Clifton gave them a 2-1 lead after one. But then the Lightning scored 4 unanswered in the second period. From there, the Sabres added a pair of goals in the third to, kind of stave off the blowout, but they still fell by the score of 7-4.
I thought we lost puck battles. I got on the wrong side of the puck and poor defensively that led to goals against. They beat us to pucks, and their sustained ozone time sometimes led to great opportunities, and we couldn't get people off the ice.
So just the exact opposite of the formula you really need to win on the road, especially against a team like that.
Yeah, when you're, maybe you can't quite match your energy. You got to take care of the puck, and we didn't take care of it. I mean, you look at a couple of goals. We've got the puck and don't execute, and it turns into a goal for them.
Yeah, they were certainly misfiring last night for sure, but they'll get another chance tomorrow night. The Leafs come to town. Hopefully there's more blue and gold than blue and white in the arena, because that's always tends to be a problem, especially this time of year.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might be leaning a little bit more towards that blue and white.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're going to talk about red and white. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We are just a week away from Dingus Day. Buffalo's proud Polish community is already getting warmed up. Now, I was particularly watching Saturday's forecast because this Saturday the party gets started early with Pils, Pierogi, and Polka at Flying Bison. They're going to have the band Those Idiots playing. They are fantastic if you haven't seen them yet. Then on Monday, a sea of red will descend on Buffalo's Polonia neighborhood, with the parade stepping off at 5:30. There's a full list of participating bars and restaurants available at dingusday.com. So have you done the pre-Dingus Day party at Flying Bison yet?
I haven't. It sounds like it's a good time.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Those Idiots, think of your classic big polka band.
Okay.
But they play every music genre. They'll do Lady Gaga.
Accordion and
they'll do Lady Gaga. Instead of poker face, it's polka face. They'll do they'll do Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Polka Train. They'll do it's everything from Michael Jackson to Kiss. They do in polka style. It's fantastic.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a great way to get ready for Easter, I'll tell you that.
Well, the weather, again, we might have some rain early on Saturday. I think we try to dry things up, though, for Saturday afternoon and evening.
All right. Well, they've got the tent out there in case the rain kind of hangs out. But the warm temperatures are welcome.
At least be milder compared to where we've been.
And then Sunday, as you're heading off to Mass, or you're finding your Easter eggs, it's going to be pretty pleasant.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
Very nice. All right, well, that is going to wrap things up for us this morning on the stream here on Daybreak Plus. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the weather today, because Tuesday, Wednesday, not so much.